Hello students, welcome to Web Technologies online classes. In the last class, I have explained about the concept of DHTML. In that DHTML, I have completed some portion in the previous class, and from that continuation onwards, in this today's session, I will complete. Okay. Now, let us start our session. Okay. And futures of DHTML. In the last class, I have completed the concept of what is DHTML and what are the components of DHTML and what are the definitions of HTML 4.0, CSS, JavaScript and DOM. So these four, actually DHTML is a concept. It is not a markup language and it is not a programming language. DHTML is a combination of all web technologies. DHTML is a combination of all web technologies. Here I given a four main web technologies, nothing but HTML, CSS, JavaScript, DOM. Okay. So these four are related to web technologies. So based on according to your syllabus, these four are enough. But if you want to add more technologies, more web technologies for your web application, then you can add. That is also called it DHTML application. And uses of DHTML is also in the yesterday portion I have completed. It is used for designing the animated and interactive web pages that are developed in real time. Real time is nothing but projects. Real time is nothing but projects. If you are working in any software company, in that software company, some projects are running, software related projects. So if the project's requirement, if you have, then animated text and interactive web pages, that type of designing we have to design by using DHTML concept. DHTML helps users by animating the text and images. Yesterday I have shown one example. Again I am showing. Wait. Animated text. Animations. Yeah, CSS animations. Here this is moving this is moving from this side to the side, that side to this side, by changing different colors and by rotating that box also by rotating. So this type of animations are called. Then this type of animations also we can develop by using DHTML applications. We have to see one more type of application, Animaker videos. Yeah, this is also one of the website, animaker.com. Here it is moving up and down. It is moving from upside and down. It is also moving, and this picture also moving. So this type of animations also we can apply. Here also carefully observe. Yeah, here also applied some animation. Carefully observe here. It is moving and dragging, all those things. So this type of animations also we can develop by using DHTML concept. And it allows the authors for adding the effects on their web pages. Yes, different types of effects also we can apply, no problem. And it also allows the page authors for including the drop down menus and rollover buttons. It allows the page authors for including the drop down. In your DHTML web application, if you want to add drop down list and rollover buttons, then you can apply. Menus also you can apply, no problem. Drop down menu in CSS. Drop downs. So all of you carefully observe. Just I am placing on that, my mouse is placing on drop down menu. Here link 1, link 2, link 3 is showing. So this type of drop down menus also we can add in our web application. In dynamic web application also we can add, no problem. And the term is also used to create various browser based action games. Browser based action games. Now we have to see browser based action names also we can see. Yeah, browser based action games. So these all are browser related games. It is opening, just wait. Yeah, these all are browser related games. If you want to add this type of games also, dynamic web application it can support. Dynamic web application it can support. Right. Next, it is also used to add the ticker on various websites which needs to refresh their content automatically. Ticker. Ticker concept in dynamic web application. Ticker concept in DHTML application. Ticker concept. So immediately it can change the text content also. Okay. Actually, ticker concept is Ajax related concept. Now, according to your syllabus, that is also not there, but you just remember this one. It is also used to add the ticker on various websites, which needs to refresh their content automatically. Here, if you want to refresh our web page, if you want to reload or refresh our web page, here you simply click on this, reload this page. I mean, all of you carefully observe at my mouse. Please concentrate on screen. My mouse is moving where reload page na. If you click on this, the browser will refresh na. It is refreshing the page na. Like that, we have to add one tick also. We have to add one checkbox, and you just click on that checkbox. It will apply the tick mark. Then automatically the page will replace. The page will refresh. Then automatically the page will refresh. And if you remove that one, again it will refresh, and by default whatever content it is showing, that content it will show. Understand? Refreshing means if the web page is not loaded properly, completely, then you need to give the refresh option. You need to give the refresh option. Then immediately it will load by recalling that function. Understand? Then automatically the entire content it will load into your screen. And next concept is features of DHTML. Following are the various characteristics or features of DHTML. Its simplest and main feature is that we can create the web page dynamically. Dynamically means if you want to apply any dynamic web page, it can change the text directions. Already in the yesterday we have seen about the syntax concept. all of you carefully observe here. Sensex I am showing now. Here the value is changing always. It is not a constant value. Every minute and every second it will change. So all of you carefully observe. Once it will refresh the page, once I am refreshing the page, so now the value is 51549.29. so all of you carefully observe. It will change automatically without doing anything. Here I am not doing anything, just simply I opened that website. All of you carefully observe, that value also will change thoroughly. It has changed now. 51532.45. The value has changed now. So this type of changings are happened in the web page. So this application is also called a dynamic web page. Here also the ad is playing differently now. So this type of animations also we can apply for our web page. So that's why these applications are also very popular role playing in the market. Understand? And its dynamic style is a feature that allows the users to alter the font, size, color and content of a web page. If you want to change a web page, font or a web page font size and also color and also content of the web page, so dynamic styles are very useful. That feature is very useful. It provides the facility for using the events, methods and properties. It provides the facility for using the events, methods and properties, and also provides the feature of the code reusability. Actually, all of you carefully observe. Now I am applying inline styles in HTML. If you want to apply any style, for that we can use the style attribute for element. Here I want to change the h1 tag color. So for that, style equal to color colon blue I use it. It is inline color because of the style attribute used at the element level only. So this entire style is applicable only for this h1 element. Now I have applied Notepad and HTML. So in this body, here also I am closing body. All of you carefully observe here. For the h1, a blue heading. Okay. Here one time I use it, this one, and the same tag I use it one more time. I am using one more time, but without using this style attribute. So here style attribute used only the first element only. In the first tag, style.html.all files. So in the first line, a blue heading. This is a heading. Okay. Now I am refreshing the page. Now I am opening the page where the file is available here. Style is my web page. Now I am opening this one. The first h1 tag applied with the blue color only. Second, by default, the black color is showing. Why? This style attribute works only for this h1 tag only, and next h1 tag does not have any, I haven't applied any style tag here. So that's why the second element not showing with any color. by default the black color it is showing, so that color it is showing. Here I haven't changed any color, so that means inline style means it is the element related. I mean, where if you want to use this style in this element, so this style is applicable for this line only, for this h1 tag only. But second time if you use without style attribute, then the color is not applicable for this only. Okay, that means this statement is only applicable for this line only. Understand? Right. So now I don't want to use this one here. So here, what is the concept here? It provides the facility events methods provides the features of code reusability. So once you define in other style, once you define styles in here, I applying style style style. So now I am applying here h1 color colon blue, So now I am saving this one with the extension of .css, because of this is style sheet. Here I have applied one style for the h1 tag. Simply I am using the previous file closed. Now I am opening style. In Notepad, right? Here I am linking in the header file. I am linking the CSS file here. Link href style.css type text or CSS. So now I have linked it. So these two tags applicable for this style only. These two tags. All of you carefully observe. Now I am saving this file and I am minimizing this one. Again I am refreshing previous loaded page. Sorry, one mistake I have done here. Wait. External CSS file link. Sorry, instead of href we need to use same link tag href is same, and style sheet relation is equal to style sheet also we must need to give. Here type not required, relation equal to style sheet. Now I have saved this one. Again I am refreshing this page. Again I am refreshing this one. Style sheet or EL href my style.css. Link href style.css style sheet, and link tag style.shed. The syntax is right. Body open, body close, head open, head close, HTML open, HTML close. saving this one, style.html, all files. Why it is not linking? Wait. Color navy. Okay, this is not required, and here also this is not required. I am saving this file. So like that we have to save the CSS file, and after that we need to link in our HTML file. Yeah, these two are reflecting with blue color na. So that means here how many times I use it? H1. Here style attribute I haven't used it. Just I have separated this styles into some other file. I have stored it in some other file, and after that I have linked with in our current page, in our current website. This is my style sheet page. Okay, I have saved with .css file. Now I am minimizing this one. Just I am linking that page, this one here. Okay, and that code is applicable for every element, every HTML element. How many times I use that? 2 times. For 2 times also it can applicable by with that style only. Understand? Nothing but code reusability is possible na. Every time, each and every line. Here if I use a style tag, style attribute, then that is applicable only for that line only, and for the next element we need to write one more time. So to avoid this type of burden, if you want to use that pre-used code again, then this external style sheet file is very useful. Nothing but code reusability is possible here, like that. Understand? So that is the meaning of code reusability. So once you define, if you want to use number of times, then you can use simply. In your web page. It also provides features in browsers for data binding, and using DHTML, users can easily create dynamic fonts and their websites or web pages. We can easily create dynamic fonts for their web pages and websites and web pages. With the help of DHTML, users can easily change the tags and their properties. So simply you can understand the features. After that I will explain about the CSS properties and tags. CSS properties I will explain. So then only you can understand about the features, how these are working. Okay, how these are working, how the attributes, how the properties will changing like that dynamically. All those things you can understand. The web page functionality is enhanced because the DHTML uses low bandwidth effect. The web page functionality is enhanced because the DHTML uses low bandwidth effect we have. Next, differences between HTML and DHTML. Now we have to see the differences between HTML and DHTML. Following table describes the differences between HTML and DHTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. DHTML stands for Dynamic Hypertext Markup Language. And now we have to see the first difference. HTML is simply a markup language. HTML is simply a markup language. And DHTML is not a language, but it is a set of technologies of web development. Here DHTML is combined with, according to our syllabus, we have combined with 4 technologies. What are they? HTML 4.0 and CSS, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript, and also DOM, document object model. So these all combined within DHTML. These all combined with, developed with one web application. That application is called a DHTML. And next we have to see the second difference. It is used for developing and creating web pages. So HTML is used for developing and creating web pages, and DHTML is used for creating and designing the animated and interactive websites or pages. Okay, so by using pure HTML we cannot develop the animated and interactive web pages. So if you want to design If you want to design animated and interactive web pages, for that DHTML is the very useful concept. Next, third difference. This markup language, HTML markup language, creates static web pages. But coming to DHTML, this concept creates a dynamic web pages. Static web pages and dynamic web pages. What is the difference between this and that? Static and dynamic. Static means it fixed. Once you define, you cannot change. But dynamic means once you define, while running time also, the application properties will change according to their requirement. So that type of code we have to develop by using by combining these all technologies. We can develop these dynamic web applications. But coming to HTML, we can develop only web page. We cannot do any changes at running time. Understand? It does not contain any server-side scripting code. HTML does not contain server-side scripting code. But coming to DHTML, it may contain the code of server-side scripting also. The files of HTML are stored with the .html and .htm extension in a system. So after writing a HTML code, you need to save that file now. So how you are saving that file? By using any valid name. After that, .html we have to use. .html we have to use to save the file purpose. Okay, but instead of .html, you may use .htm also. Here two extensions are given. Here two extensions I am showing, .html or .htm. If you want to use this anyone in these two extensions, if you want to use anyone, then it will work properly. And the files of DHTML are stored with the .dhtm extension in a system. .dhtm. DHTM is nothing but dynamic HTML. Understand? So, but nowadays .dhtml extensions are not using by any programmer because of each and every file saving with different files. They're different extensions. Now just now I told you na, and in my web page I have developed this much code. So this HTML file I have saved with .html extension. But this one CSS file I have saved with which extension? .css extension. So this is the useful. After saving this file, I need to link that file to in my current document. Then only these two tags will work according to based on that style sheet. Okay. Whatever the properties I have assigned in the style.css for the h1 tag. So if you link here, then only the h1 tag will receive their styles only. Otherwise, it cannot receive the h1 tag. So here two times I have used here. So two times the style has applicable by using CSS file. By using style.css file. Because of here I am using single time, and for every h1 tag it can reuse that property there. So to achieve the code reusability purpose, I can separate the code from main document to some other document, and I have stored it with the .css extension to achieve the code reusability concept. But if you assign all those things into single document like a HTML page, you need to save that DHTML file is with the .dhtm extension only. But nowadays .dhtm is not using because of all are separating with different files. All are separating the codes, different places and different files they are using with different extensions. Next, sixth difference. A simple page which is created by a user without using the scripts or styles called as a HTML page. In the HTML page, we are not using a simple page which is created by user without using scripts or styles called as HTML page. Nothing but the HTML page contains without using scripts and styles. Then the page is called HTML page. A page which is created by user using the HTML, CSS, DOM and JavaScript technologies call it DHTML page. call it DHTML page. Here I have used CSS now. Here I have used CSS. I linked this file. So this is called a DHTML page. If this tag is not used here, if the tag is not there in this document, then it is called a pure HTML page. Okay. Next, seventh difference. This markup language, HTML markup language, does not need database connectivity. Does not need database connectivity because of that options are not there. If you use pure HTML, the databases connectivity is not supported by the HTML page. But coming to DHTML, it needs database connectivity because it interacts with the users. It is interact with the users by collecting some information. For example, if it is a scholarship application, it is showing some fields to fill the form. So after filling that all text boxes, you need to submit, but you need to press the submit button by using mouse. So after pressing submitting button, immediately that information will go to database. So that means it need to store the user details, need to store in some other place So compulsory that application need to communicate with a database. So DHTML is compulsory needs the database to store collected information by the users. But HTML is just it is defining a structure only. It does not store any. I mean it cannot store at anywhere. If you want to save your information in any database by using web application, compulsory DHTML concepts we need to use. We must have to use the DHTML concepts to store to interact, to communicate with the database. So 7 differences completed here, and in the completed. All differences completed. So this part is also over. Introduction to dynamic HTML programming concept is over right now. And what are the features we have, and what are the concepts we have now? DHTML introduction part is also over. And what is the DHTML is how many components we have? There are 4 components here. According to our syllabus, 4 components we have to see here. What are the HTML 4.0, CSS, JavaScript, DOM. So all those web technologies combined with a DHTML application. It is a combination of DHTML, 4 applications. It is a combination of different types of web technologies. DHTML is nothing but it is a combination of different types of web technologies. Here I given 4 definitions for the HTML 4.0 and also CSS and also JavaScript and also DOM parser. DHTML uses and DHTML features and DHTML and HTML differences I have explained it right now, and these are the dynamic HTML portion. And in the next class I would like to explain about the concept of, according to our syllabus, cascading style sheet. I would like to introduce. I will introduce cascading style sheet in the next class. Thank you very much. Today I am going to ending this session. Thank you very much.